Welcome to the overview of NotePager Pro's setup and display options. In this tutorial, we'll be going over how to administrate NotePager Pro and how to go over each of the different configuration options. The program's general setup is in the Tools menu, which provides access to the settings and allows you to perform a port scan for modems and a general TCP check against certain ports required by the different communication methods the program supports. Under the Settings section, we have the following sections: General, Connection, Display, Passwords, and User/Global. Here in the General section, we can specify the following global variables. Sender's name is used with TAP, SNPP, WCTP, fax, fax-SRV, and GSMAT, and is the display name of who or what sent the message. Sender's email is used with the SMTP protocol to send email. This field specifies the from address for all email sent from the program. When relaying through an SMTP server, this field usually has to match the authentication account. For example, if you're authenticating with john@mydomain.com, you would want to use that email address as the sender's email. Max log length determines the maximum amount of data that NotePager Pro will retain and is a value expressed in bytes. The larger you allow this log to grow, the more information it can contain. The purge after value controls how often NotePager Pro will remove old messages from the database. This is important to note because the reports pull from the store of messages in the database. We do not recommend setting this field higher than 365. Logging level will determine what level of information should be recorded in the log. Summary will record the date and time, sender, and message delivered for sent and failed traffic. Details will provide protocol information, but not the full negotiation sequence. Debug will provide the entire protocol negotiation sequence for every message delivered. If you're experiencing difficulty delivering messages, it's highly recommended to set debug level logging. If archive log is enabled, when the date changes, NotePager Pro will take the previous day's logs and rename it to the date on which the program was run, then create a new log for the new day. For example, if archive log is enabled and you run NotePager Pro on April the 28th, but don't run the program again until April the 30th, the program will create an archived log of the transaction history for April the 28th before it starts a new log for April the 30th. If Microsoft Word is installed, this option enables automatic spell checking for the NotePager Pro message window. Next, let's go over the connection settings. When sending SMS with a cellular modem, faxes with a dial-up modem, or tap-based messages with a dial-up modem, you'll need to specify that modem's COM port in the modem port field. If NotePager Pro is using a dial-up modem and a prefix must be dialed to reach an outside line, enter that prefix here. Retries controls how many times the program should attempt to send a message before failing it. And retry interval controls how long the program will wait between connection attempts. Next, let's go over the display setup. Within the settings of recipients and groups, there are fields that, by default, are labeled Comment 1 and Comment 2. These fields allow you to modify those field labels. Max message length determines the maximum number of characters that can be entered into the message window of the NotePager Pro interface. Remove Preset buttons will remove the Preset Messages button from NotePager Pro. Remove Schedule button will remove the Scheduling Calendar button from NotePager Pro. Remove Logs will remove the ability to access the View menu. Remove Reports will remove the ability to access the Reports menu. Small recipient font will make the text of recipients and selected recipients much smaller. If failure warning pop-up is enabled and a message fails to send, a pop-up warning message will display. If Clear on Send is enabled, when the Send button is clicked, the selection in the selected recipients box and the text typed into the message box will be automatically cleared. Display Group Label specifies whether you want the parenthetical G to appear before or after a group's name, which affects sort order. Minimize To specifies whether you want NotePager Pro to minimize to the taskbar with other applications or to the system tray next to the clock in Windows. It is recommended that this option be set to the taskbar. The Passwords section is used to configure NotePager Pro's security system. For more information on that, have a look at NotePager Pro's security system video tutorial. Last, let's get to the User Global section. This section allows you to specify whether the configured setup and display options should be set for all Windows users who access the program, or just for the specific user you're currently logged in with. For example, you could say that the preset messages are common for all users, but the sender's name and sender's email address are specific to each user who logs into the system. This concludes the overview of NotePager Pro's setup and display options. For more information, including how to configure the program's security system, please visit our website, www.notepage.net.